I found all the moves that all of the Gen 9 Pokemon can learn on a paste bin that I believe was discontinued. Like, yeah, I can't find it here. I can find the part 1, but it doesn't include the Gen 9 Pokemon. So like, I could discuss these one, but that would be a lot of work. So I might do that later on. For now though, I'm just going to show you the notepad I made of all of the Gen 9 Pokemon. I am not going to have face cam also. Spoilers for all the names, it's also not going to look pretty at all. So, alright, let me go turn on my face cam here. Disable. And here it is. So, these are all the moves that I found relatively notable, at least in some way. I didn't include stat moves, so like Meowscarada won't have like things like Seed Bomb. There will be other, unless they're like special ones, like Sucker Punch. That one's kind of special. So Meowscarada, as you can see, has quite a lot of moves. Oh no, Protean and now this. Now, I have received comment about Meowscarada saying that it's definitely gonna be OU, and then some are like, no. So like, I have no idea how it's gonna do. We don't know how Protean's gonna do. I predict it's still gonna be pretty good, but like, it's not gonna be as absurd. So I've also included moves like Ally Switch because, like, come on, VGC is a thing. So as we can see, it gets offensively, it gets Play Rough, U-Turn, Sucker Punch, Trailblaze. If you guys don't know, Trailblaze is just grass type flame charge, so that's pretty cool. Acrobatics if you really want. Nasty Plot, Thunder Punch, Low Kick, Low Sweep, Knockoff, Power Gem, Brick Break, and Pollen Puff, and Aura Sphere. So this thing has Fairy, Bug, Dark Grass, Flying, kind of, Electric, Fighting, Rock. I think that's all. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, if we were to run a physical set, which you probably do, let's be honest, I was always expecting Choice Band to be Meowscarada's best set. Now that I see that it does actually get Sucker Punch, Choice Band is definitely what I'm predicting. So I want to say U-Turn, Sucker Punch, Thunder Punch, and Low Kick, like Brick Break or Low Kick. Probably Low Kick. Oh wait, what am I doing? No, you want your stab move. So U-Turn, Sucker Punch, Knockoff, and just Power Whip. I believe it learns Power Whip. I believe. So that's definitely what I'm predicting for a Choice Band set. On the special side, it gets Nasty Plot, and then it has Aura Sphere, Pollen Puff, obviously, and then it did have Dark Pulse and Giga Drain. I remember. I believe it had Energy Ball. Don't remember if it had Leaf Storm, but I think it did. However, I'm more impressed in its support capabilities. I did not expect Toxic Spikes. There are quite a few very good Toxic Spikes out there right now. Clodsire, anybody? But like, still, it gets Toxic Spike, and it also has Leech Seed. I don't remember whether Rose Raid is in the game, but if it's not, Meowscarada is probably going to be the only thing with Leech Seed Toxic Spikes. And it has Taunt. Taunt's a good move, always. And as U-Turn and Sucker Punch, Rose Raid doesn't have those. It's a lot better at all this stuff. I feel like players could find ways to make use of Toxic Spikes with Protean too. Like transforming into a Poison type. That might not be the most ideal, but probably not the worst. Also in VGC, you got Ally Switch, Helping Hand, Taunt to prevent Trick Room, your own Trick Room if you really want. Skill Swap is what I'm interested in. I'm not sure how Skill Swap is going to function for it. Also Power Gem for special coverage, I forgot to mention that. I have no idea how Skill Swap is going to function for it. Like, you Skill Swap Protean. I'm not sure how good that's going to be, or how realistic. Meowscarada is just going to be good. Choice Band, very, very good in my opinion. Nasty Plot sets, it's not as high of a special attack, but it has solid enough coverage, I feel. Aura Sphere, Pollen Puff, and Power Gem should be enough. Like, Power Gem and Aura Sphere / Pollen Puff is really all you need, along with your stabs. Now Skeledirge, Thunderfang, Zen Headbutt, Crunch, Helping Hand, Will-O-Wisp, Stomping Tantrum, Seed-Bomb, Wild Charge, Snarl, Earthquake, Encore. So, a lot of these are physical, which is bad. Skeledirge is definitely going to be a defensive Pokemon, because it doesn't have the offensive moves. If you want it to be a special attacker, you pretty much only have your stat moves and that's literally it, as far as I remember. You definitely want to just run some kind of defensive set. I don't remember when it gets reliable recovery, but the fact that I didn't list it makes me think it didn't either that or just forgot. So like physically, you can run like wild charge, flare blitz. Does it get poltergeist? Is poltergeist even in the game? Whatever ghost stab it gets, and if it doesn't get a ghost stab for some reason, you can run crunch, and the last would probably be earthquake. I'm looking at these moves. I'm really not expecting much from Skeledirge. Like, Will-O-Wisp Snarl sounds cool, but like, Incineroar can do that and has Intimidate. Although I guess Skeledirge has a better defensive typing. We'll have to see. Encore's pretty interesting too. So, Quackquavel, Rapid Spin, Ruse, Acrobatics, Helping Hand, Aqua Cutter, Brave Bird, Ice Spinner, Encore, Sword Dance, Agility, Taunt, Hurricane. Alright, Aqua Cutter, no idea what it does. I kind of forgot. I should definitely check what Aqua Cutter does. But I'm not going to because I'm lazy. Ice Spinner. If you guys don't know what Ice Spinner is, that's an 80 base power ice physical move that gets rid of terrains. But that's just a secondary effect, so you don't actually need terrain to use it. You can just use it as like a regular move if you want to. I think Ice Spinner is a great move. I feel like it's better than Icicle Crash just because it's reliable. 100 accuracy. Icicle Crash, I've always been really afraid to use it because of its accuracy. I've even considered Ice Punch at times. So, Quackquavel. Now, in my older video, I was saying if it gets Brave Bird, that's going to be really good. It does get Brave Bird. So, Brave Bird's Swords Dance or Choice Band could be really vicious. With Aqua Jet, which has been confirmed to get. Close Combat been confirmed as well. So, Aqua Jet, Close Combat, Brave Bird for Choice Band. Probably Ice Spinner as the last move, or even Rapid Spin. Then for like support, you have Encore, Taunt, Helping Hand for VGC, Roost, whatever Aqua Cutter does could do anything, who knows? Pretty interesting. Hurricane if you want to run a special set. As a usable special attack set, I think you could do it. Swords Dance and Agility are pretty interesting. It's 2 setup moves. Who knows? It could be like Kingler. Who knows? Oinkologne. That was Lechonk's evolution. And I'm not expecting too much. It's got a good amount of coverage. But I'm mostly expecting body press defensive sets. Because I just don't think Oinkologne has much of the stats to do it. It has a lot of coverage. Zen Headbutt, Seed Bomb, Iron Head, Play Rough, Stomping Tantrum. But really, the only good coverage move here, to me, is Stomping Tantrum. And that's 75 base power. So I don't know. You have Earth Power for special sets, but like, that's special sets. Come on. So, the Dunsparce is pretty interesting. So, I don't fully remember the Dunsparce's stats. I should probably go check them. Is it over here? Okay, stats for all the new Pokemon. We can look at them right here. So, where's the Dunsparce? There we go. The Dunsparce. Oh, it actually has a higher special attack than I thought. 85. Interesting. So I don't know what Hyper Drill does. It's a new move that it has. Don't know what it does. We'll have to see. So that means Boomburst is actually a viable move on it. I was pretty interested in Boomburst. So that actually means that Calm Mind sets and Choice Spec sets could actually be viable. Which is interesting. This thing has a lot of special coverage. I didn't list it down because Dunsparce already gets them. And also I didn't think they were going to be very good. But it has a higher special attack than I thought. Now, if we go back to just regular Dunsparce, some of you who play Showdown might know the Coil, Roost, Earthquake, Body Slam set that I personally use it to sweep a lot. But other than that, you have support set utilizing Stealth or Dragon Tail, which could be pretty interesting. With Body Press 2, Yawn and Glare, which I believe Dunsparce already had. And it has defensive moves. Poison Jab, Wild Charge, Zen Headbutt, Heavy Slam, Stone Edge, Earthquake. Those aren't terrible. Ice Spinner. Those aren't really bad, especially Ice Spinner. That's a nice addition. So, the Dunsparce, with its entirely acceptable stats, I was predicting the Dunsparce to be an Assault Vest Pokemon. Looking at this, I'm honestly predicting more bulky offensive, bulky support, who knows. So, Spidops, not expecting much. Silk Trap. Silk Trap is just obstruct, obstacle signature move, but instead of dropping defense, it drops speed. And besides that, it doesn't really have much. It has Sticky Web Circle Throw, which is cool, but if you guys don't know, its stats are garbage. Spidops has 79 attack, and it's not that bulky. It has Stakeout as its ability, which is somewhat cool, but like, no, come on, man, no, this thing's way too weak to succeed. Low kicks gets first impression, which is great. Sucker punch as well. Axe kick, don't know what it does. There are a few signature moves that I remember, not all of them I forgot. Like Revival Blessing, which we will be discussing. Okay, the rest of low kicks, it doesn't have coverage. It has low kick, and that's about it. Trailblaze, Trailblaze is kind of weak, and the rest are just too weak that I didn't list them down. Low kicks, it could be lower tier threatening, but I don't know. I'm not expecting too much from low kicks. Yeah, really not expecting too much. Rapska, a Pokemon that I personally don't like much because I really keep forgetting about it. And Rapska here, okay, Rapska, I see good potential for it. Trick Room in Prison. That's always been a thing that you've seen on Chandelure Jellicent. Besides Trick Room in Prison, I'm not sure what else this thing does. I physically defensive Calm Mind sets could be really good. Calm Mind, Psychic. It doesn't seem to get a recovery move though. Maybe just more all out offensive. Maybe you just run choice specs with Earth Power, Psychic, Shadow Ball, and of course Trick. And of course Dazzling Gleam is still there as an option. Power Gem, Energy Ball if you really want. I personally don't really think those are as good, except Dazzling Gleam. Maybe Dazzling Gleam. Like, hitting Dark types is important for a Psychic Pokemon. It's basically your shifting Earth Power and Dazzling Gleam. The most intriguing part of Rapska, though, is Revival Blessing. If you guys don't know what Revival Blessing does, I could be wrong in this. Do tell me if I'm wrong about what Revival Blessing does. But if I remember correctly, Revival Blessing, it's a 1 PV move that allows you to heal a Pokemon in battle by half or full health? I don't remember. Either way, it's really good, assuming I'm correct. So, Rapska could have used as a support Pokemon with Revival Blessing, Taunt, and then Dual Stabs. We'll see. Oh, I just forgot, this is a bug type. It can just use Bug Buzz for dark types. What am I thinking? I keep forgetting about the secondary types. Houndstone. Houndstone's the really interesting one. It's a Sand Rush Pokemon with Last Respect. So that's really cool because Last Respects, the more Pokemon that faint, the stronger it gets. So like, okay, so let's say you're just leading off with your lead Tyranitar, Hippowdon, or Gigalith. That thing dies, and you send Houndstone in. Last Respects, I want to say it's 100 base power after that, but honestly, I don't know what the multiplier is. As long as it's not like 5%, we should be. Last Respect will be a pretty cool, very strong in the end game move. It also gets Crunch, Play Rough, Helping Hand, Destiny Bond, Yawn, Memento, Shouting, Alishit, Elemental Fang, Psychic Fang, Stomping Tantrum, Play Rough, Trick, Body Press, Will-O-Wisp. I see a physically defensive set looking really nice with Body Press, Will-O-Wisp, maybe Shadow Sneak, and if you really want Last Respects, but also like Yawn, Memento. Memento could be a cool support move, especially alongside Will-O-Wisp and Trick. Although Trick, I'm not fully sure about. Speaking of Trick, that also sounds like a Choice Band that could do well with Shadow Sneak. Shadow Sneak's priority is always good for Choice Band Pokemon. Houndstone could have potential. So Espatra, when I was making this for Espatra, I was pretty impressed with what I got. So I did write down Feather Dance. Pokemon learn Charm, and for some reason I didn't write Charm down, even though it's technically better than Feather Dance because of more PP. So I don't. You can ignore the Feather Dances. It just halves the opponent's attack. Lumina Crash. I believe this is just an attack. Forgot the base power. And when you hit into it, it lowers whatever it was. I want to say physical defense because it sounds like a physical attack, but who knows? And then after that, it has. Is Espatra physical or special? Okay, it's a special attacker. Hopefully Lumina Crash is a special attack then. So that means that you mostly want to be running Trick, Shadow Ball, U-Turn, Energy Ball, Psychic, Dazzling Gleam, and Calm Mind. So Espatra, I'm not as impressed as I initially was now that I think about it, but it's not bad. Lumina Crash is always a good move. I remember it was a pretty good move. Farigiraf, I was quite disappointed initially. Now I'm slowly deciding that Farigiraf isn't as bad as I initially thought. Like, the abilities aren't amazing, but it's not bad. So, you got Nasty Plot, you got Twin Beam. Twin Beam is just, I believe it's a double, basically just dual chop psychic type. Maybe, I'm probably 100% accurate, unlike dual chop. But, like, it doesn't really matter. Who knows? Yeah, actually, now I think about it, Psychic's probably better. So, you got Nasty Plot, and then you're probably just going to run Psychic. Oh, now that I think about it, Farigiraf doesn't really have coverage for dark types. And it can just run normal stab though. Hyper Voice, good enough. Nasty Plot, Psychic, Hyper Voice. And probably Shadow Ball. Yeah, that's what I would expect for Farigiraf. Skill Swap, like, its abilities are interesting, so Skill Swap might have use. Trick Room in Prison is always there. With Helping Hand. Choice Specs for Farigiraf, I don't know about that. Physically, it's pretty interesting. Low Kick, Crunch, Iron Head, Stomping Tantrum, Trailblaze. That could be pretty cool. So Farigiraf, oh yeah, Earthquake too. Let me delete Stomping Tantrum there. If it has Earthquake, it's not gonna use Stomping Tantrum, unless it's a double vowel. So Farigiraf, but that's potential. Walk Trio, I didn't list any more than this because this is literally all you can do. Walk Trio sucks, guys. Don't use it. Dondozo. So, Dondozo didn't have... I remember Dondozo being really strong. And it has some coverage moves. Rock Slide, Earthquake. So, the coverage moves are Rock, Ground, Steel, Psychic, Fighting, and Dark. Which is interesting. I believe this thing was a water type, so... You can go Liquidation. So, once you're at Liquidation... Oh, you don't really have anything to do with bulky waters. Besides, like, Substitute Curse, things like that. So Dondozo, it has obstacles, but I feel like it can overcome them. Veluza, I forgot what Fillet Away does, but besides that, it looks like it's a pretty interesting Pokemon. This thing better be a physical attacker. Okay, it is. Ooh, it's not that strong. Oops. Yeah, I don't think Veluza is gonna be too great. Yeah, no. Like, it could be interesting. I spelled Drill Run with one L. Who knows? Maybe that's Veluza just saying he's only gonna take half of the L that the otherwise would have to. What is this doing here? Palafin. I do not remember what Jet Punch does, but other than that, this is pretty interesting. Lots of an amount of coverage moves, although Draining Kiss and Grass Knot don't really count. Yeah. Well, I mean, the Palafin Hero form has a much higher special attack stat, so who knows? Who knows? Palafin's pretty interesting. Arboliva, this is looking like to be one of the more annoying Pokemon, but also pretty interesting. So, Arboliva, why I say it's annoying because it has Strength Sap, Synthesis, and then it has Leech Seed, and even Encore. It sounds so annoying. Just, I've had experience fighting Eldegoss and PU. It's so annoying. And this is just the same thing, but on another level. Although it is normal type. So fighting moves can destroy it. So Arboliva, flawed, but sounds disturbing. What I find interesting though is Terrain Pulse and its ability Seed Sower. I remember Arboliva having the ability where I believe a contact move, I don't know. It sets a grassy terrain after that. So terrain, you just get Terrain Pulse just from being hit. Like a good grass stab. So that is pretty interesting for offensive, I believe. I'm running Earth Power, Pollen Puff probably, maybe Dazzling Gleam. I don't know about that one. Probably just a more reliable grass move like Giga Drain. Scovillain, absolutely my least favorite Pokemon. I literally wrote Zen Headbutt twice. That's just how much I hate it. I hate Scovillain. And I'm not expecting too much from it either. Like, it's okay. Rage Powder and Helping Hand are interesting VGC moves, but like, come on, just run Amoongus. I know Brute Bonnet is a thing, but come on. Revavroom, I remember seeing this thing's stats and thinking it was pretty good. Looking at it right now, Revavroom, okay. So River Room has Magnet Rise, which I think is going to be really good. What I'm mainly looking at is Shift Gear. That's going to be very good. Shift Gear River Room, not only does it make sense, but it already has a high attack, and it's got the same speed tier as Clink Clang, a pretty solid speed tier. So once you Shift Gear, you're ripped. Now, my main issue with River Room is its coverage. I don't remember what Spin Out does. If you just swap Overheat into, like, I don't know, even just Fire Punch, this would be a lot more dangerous. I'm thinking River Room needs a strong ground fighting or fire style to hit steel types, because that's the main issue I'm seeing with it right now. Bulldoze just isn't strong enough in my opinion. Also has Parting Shot. Support sets could absolutely work. Parting Shot, Toxic, Taunt, that could all work. Earthworm, I don't like Earthworm. I don't remember what Shut Tail does, but it has hazards and body press and stuff. It can do something. Mouse Hold. Population Bomb, I remember this thing. I don't fully remember what it does, but I only remember it just has the potential to get an enormous base power. It sounds like they're trying to do another Dracovish thing. Honestly, Mousehole, I'm still not expecting much. But who knows, Mousehole might surprise us. Titan. Entrainment is really cool. I saw this and I was thinking, ooh, Entrainment Slush Rush. This is what I'm picturing. So, single battle, Entrainment's crap. VGC though, let's say you have Titan and let me just choose a random Pokemon. Your Hail Setter, honestly. So let's say Titan and Vanillux are side by side, and the opponent just has God knows what. Let's say it's a Dragapult and a Cinderace. So Titan can kill one of those, but the other one will kill Vanillux or even Titan. It's like if you kill, so if you Entrainment Vanillux, oh wait, not Cinderace, Rhyperior? No. Just some ice weak Pokemon that's faster than Vanillux, but not, okay? You Entrainment Vanilla, Vanilla just kills both of those. Yeah, Dragonite. So you can just kill both of them. That was really cool to me. Besides that, I think Titan, it's got the coverage it needs. It's fine. I don't know what Glaive Rush does, but like I predicted, Baxcalibur is gonna be a beast. It has Dragon Dance and Swords Dance. Come on, guys. This thing's so good, and I don't like that because Baxcalibur is my least favorite pseudo. Tatsugiri, it's pretty interesting. Although it's probably pretty bad. Rapid Spin, Taunt, and... Come on, man. I'm sorry, Tatsugiri. Palmot's pretty cool. I think it's gonna be like Electivire, but not in the sense that Electivire is garbage. In the sense that it has a bunch of coverage moves: Low Kick, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, and it even has Seed Bomb, and it has Priority Mach Punch. So it's probably better than Electivire. I'm just wondering how much better. That's what I'm mainly wondering because it doesn't have Earthquake, but who knows? Now Palmot, I believe, it also has Revival Blessing. Palmot could be a lot better as Wish, Encore, Fake Out, Helping Hand, Eerie Impulse, Entrainment, Nuzzle. It could be a lot. It's gonna be a lot better than Electivire. Just how much better? Kilowattrel. These are literally the only moves that I found interesting. Bombardier. Bombardier is pretty cool. It's a lot of rock moves. Is Bombardier what are its stats? Bombardier over here. It's a physical attacker. Okay, Bombardier. It could use Nasty Plot stats are really gonna do anything, but like, ooh, it has Power Trip. I think Crocodile is still going to be the better Power Tripper, though. Because it has a higher attack stat and speed stat. But Bombardier here, it can use Parting Shot and knock off Roost, Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch, always a good move. I think Bombardier is going to be okay. It's not going to be terrible, but it's not nothing amazing. Squawkabilly, pretty interesting, but I wrote Trailblaze so many times, I just wrote Trailwind. No, Tailwind. So Cloth, either I'm blind or Cloth didn't get Shell Smash. I'm hoping I'm blind, so let's just say Cloth has Shell Smash. I've heard so many places that it does. Cloth with Shell Smash looks promising. With Crab Hammer, Rock Stab, and High Horsepower, and even Trailblaze, Brick Break. This thing sounds pretty dangerous. But otherwise, I'm not expecting anything. Because Swords Dance Trailblaze could be pretty cool, but like not that cool. Man, I don't expect much. Garganackle. I haven't seen Garganackle's design yet. I don't know if it's been released yet. But it gets the elemental punches, so I'm excited to see it. Just like another Pokemon that we're going to see down the line. Garganackle, besides that, I don't remember what Salt Cure does. But it's got pretty good coverage and it has Stealth Rock. So it's going to be like an offensive rocker. Based on its stats, I think Garganackle will be pretty good. I forgot what Mortal Spin does. Besides that, Glimmora looks very much like a support Pokemon. With some offensive coverage, like Flash Cannon, Earth Power, Underbolt. It's actually pretty solid offensive coverage, not gonna lie. Grafaiai, I was predicting it was gonna be like Sableye. And not really. It doesn't have like Will-O-Wisp, so it doesn't negate damage. But instead, it's more of a supporter. But in the sense that it just buffs you. It has Flatter, and it has Doodle. Doodle, I remember it something to do with ability messing around with abilities. I don't remember exactly how it works, but I there could be some pretty cool things. Also, unlike Sableye, I have the potential to go Sword Dance with Low Kick, and also has U-Turn, and I'm very good at spelling, of course. So Dax Bun, Fido's evolution, not expecting too much. It's got some moves. Mabastiff, it has Jaw Lock, just like another Pokemon that's gonna come up besides Dreadnought. So it looks like it's gonna be a Hone Floss Pokemon, but really I don't expect much from Mabastiff. Could be okay though. Could be okay. Brambleghast. Brambleghast looks interesting with its support. As spikes. Oh, no. No. Okay, there we go. Brambleghast has pretty interesting moves. Strength Stab, Leech Seed, just like Arboliva, but has Infestation. It sounds so annoying. Pain Split is probably not going to be too good, but Spikes means it can support while it's just annoying you to death. Shadow Sneak can like kill you once it's weakened you enough. Beat Up is always cool against Justified Pokemon. Who knows what Brambleghast is going to be like? I have no idea. Goldengo. The other Pokemon with elemental punches. Nasty Plot, Make It Rain, which I forgot what it does. I'm predicting Goldengo to be a vicious offensive Pokemon. I saw its stats. It's solid bulk, average speed 84, and very strong. But like, I think mainly I'm gonna want to use Choice Scarf Goldengo. First off, I like its name, Goldengo. But then its speed with a Choice Scarf can be very fast. So once I go ahead and grab Focus Blast, Flash Cannon, Shadow Ball, that's probably all I need. But then I can just slap on like Dazzling Gleam, Thunderbolt, who knows? Goldengo is vicious. It has Nasty Plot. If you can get one off, which, who knows? Dear God! I'm really expecting a lot from Goldengo. It better not let me down. You better be at least RUBL. Actually, you at least you there. OU, fine. I'll forgive you if you're not OU. Heat Trends in the meta, but like just Focus Blast it, man. Focus Blast it. Great Tusk. We're onto the Paradox forms now. Rapid Spin, Headlong Rush, Head Smash, Mega Horn, Zen Headbutt, Elemental Fang, Body Press, Smart Strike, Ice Spinner, Heavy Slam, Stealth Rock, Rock Slide, Close Combat, Taunt, Play Rough. As a ground fighting type, I wrote Close Combat here, even though it's like a main stat along with Headlong Rush, just because I wasn't sure we would get these moves. Headlong Rush especially. I'm happy to see it has those because they're basically both the same, except different type. So Great Tusk definitely appreciates those. Very good stat moves. Ice Spinner, Stealth Rock. Of course, all the Paradox forms are going to be good, but like just how good compared to the other Paradox forms. I'm expecting Headlong Rush and Close Combat to be very good, and along with Head Smash or Ice Spinner for coverage, this thing's going to be so good that you don't even need a fourth move. You can just run Rapid Spin or Stealth Rock in the last slot. Rapid Spin, if it still gives the speed boost, which it probably does, oh god. It has a speed tier of 87, which is fairly average. So we have a +1, which is basically a Choice Scarf boost. Oh my god. So Assault Vest, Great Tusk, Life Orb, Great Tusk, God knows what you want to run. Choice Band for whatever, Mega Horn, Play Rough. Oh my god, Great Tusk is gonna be so powerful. Brute Bonnet. They're offensive Amoongus. That still has a lot of Amoongus' support moves. Spore, Rage Powder, Synthesis, Clear Smog, Pollen Puff. But then you got the offensive options. It's Sucker Punch, Trailblaze, Close Combat, and Stomping Tantrum and Zen Headbutt. Close Combat on Amoongus. What the heck, man? Who thought that was a good idea? Like, design-wise. For Amoongus itself, I think it's probably fine. Who knows? I'm obviously not too sure how Brute Bonnet's gonna work, but its Sucker Punch is probably gonna be decent. I don't remember having knockoff or not. Sandy Shocks. I was mildly disappointed by Sandy Shocks not having anything crazy. I was hoping for like Energy Ball at least. But as Spikes, no, I'm not expecting too much from Sandy Shocks. I love Magneton, but man, come on, buddy. So Screen Tail. Screen Tail obviously had the ridiculous moves that the Jigglypuff had, but all the support moves like Encore, Helping Hand, Trick Room in Prison, Stealth Rock, Wish, and Bulk Up. I'm quite intrigued by Boomburst. That might allow it to still do good damage even with its mediocre attack stats. Fluttermane, not too sure what to expect from Fluttermane. It has support moves as Mystical Fire still. And does it have Nasty Plot? I don't see it anywhere, but I see Calm Mind. I think Fluttermane could be a pretty solid Pokemon. Just keep it away from physical moves, obviously. I don't expect much support. I expect it mostly as offensive. Probably Choice Specs. Probably. But who knows? Slitherwing. First impression is really nice for Slitherwing. And besides that, I like seeing Bulk up there. U-turn's good. Close Combat, wasn't too sure we'll get it. It does get it. Flare Blitz is pretty interesting. So all that's pretty good for it. Choice Band and Bulk Up sets sound pretty dangerous. It doesn't have Roost, but it does still have Morning Sun. So who knows? Roaring Moon still has Dragon Dance. Nice. And obviously got the Salamence coverage moves, Zen Headbutt and Flamethrower. And Jaw Lock, which is pretty interesting. I didn't remember writing that down. U-Turn is the big one. Did not expect Salamence to get U-Turn. So who knows? Roaring Moon could be really good. Out of its stats, did say that already. Iron Treads. Iron Treads, is just fast dog fan. And it's got Volt Switch, but besides that, it's not much different. Got ground moves. I don't know why I wrote the ground moves down. I think I forgot the thing was a ground type when I was writing. It's probably gonna be decent. Iron Moth. Iron Moth, I'm liking it. I just think it's really strong offensively with fire moves, like let's say just Fire Blast, and then if you're running just an all-out offensive set, Bug Buzz could be really Bug Buzz and Fire Blast, of course, but like no, this thing's a Fire Poison type, so no. You're running Fire Blast, Sludge Bomb, and then what walls that Pokemon would probably be like, I don't know, honestly. You can run U-turn just get out of any sticky situation, but if you want to just blast your bulky water, just Energy Ball or Discharge it. If you want to blast away the Dragon type, you Dazzling Gleam it. Iron Moth, I think is gonna be better than Slithering, that's for sure. Iron Hands, its stats are already really good, but now the Assault Vest set has Volt Switch to mess around with, which is pretty cool. Player off, don't understand why it gets that. I'm mostly intrigued by Swords Dance. Slow Pokemon generally aren't amazing sweepers, unless it's like boosting their defenses. But Swords Dance Hariyama, who knows? That could really change the tide. Does it have Bullet Punch? I don't know. If it says Bullet Punch, goodness. Iron Jugulus. Iron Jugulus, I'm predicting probably gonna be worse than Hydreigon. Sorry. Maybe in VGC though with Tailwind. So Iron Thorns. Iron Thorns has Swords Dance? Oh goodness. And Volt Switch. Its stats aren't amazing, so who knows. It's probably going to be okay though. Also, I wanted to specify, not specify, just point out, it learns Pin Missile at level 63. Why? Iron Bundle the frickin' Delibird. This is all it gets, but that's all it needs. Hydro Pump and Freeze Dry everything. Flip turn out of a bad situation if you for some reason happen to run into one, and Ice Beam as the last move on your guaranteed Choice Specs Delibird. Why did they give Delibird a form, and why did they make it good? Oh my god. Iron Valiant is definitely the most versatile Pokemon. The most moves here. Look at this. There's so many moves here. Hypnosis, Psycho Cut, Nice Lunge, Leap Blade, Knockoff, Destiny Bond, Spirit Break, Quick Guard, Wide Guard, Elemental Punches, Sword Dance, Imprison, Trick Room, Helping Hand, Taunt, Thunderbolt, Thunderwave, Psychic, Ice Wind, Grass Knot, Charge Beam, Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Claw, Zed Headbutt, Hex, Store Power, and freaking Liquidation. Liquidation. Why did they give it Liquidation? It makes no sense. Liquidation? Will they even use that? So Iron Valiant, I believe it's a physical attacker. Yeah, it's slightly a physical attacker. So Iron Valiant, the physical attacker. Then after that, you have your Fairy Fighting Stab, which is pretty cool. And after that, you just run whatever coverage move you freaking want. Does it Poison Jab? Okay, it doesn't seem to still a Poison Jab. Wow, all these coverage moves and no Poison Jab. Really? But like, man, this thing's vicious. It's like all the coverage. Fairy types seem to be dangerous though. Be careful about those if you're planning to use this thing. Koraidon, forgot what Collision Course and Electrodrift do, but these things stats on the board are just so good that I don't really see the other moves don't really seem to matter too much. I definitely think Koraidon will be better. I like Miraidon more, but Koraidon has Swords Dance, man. Come on. Come on, you can't tell me that's gonna make it better. As for Miraidon, sure has Calm Mind. It's kind of like Groudon versus Kyogre now. Calm Mind. That's like it. Dazzling Gleam's... No, Dazzling Gleam's not that great of coverage. Power Gem? No. Flash Cannon is probably the best coverage, but like, with Electric Terrain being set up by your ability, you're probably fine to just beat a Fairy type up anyways. And don't get me started on the Rock types. So we're almost done. Tinkaton, I don't expect it to be good even with its solid moves and Swords Dance because of its really low attack. Armor Rouge and Cerulege, like I predicted, and I believe most people did. Cerulege is probably better. Armor Rouge, it has Wide Guard, so probably a little better support because I think Wide Guard is better than Quick Guard personally. And it has Taunt, Helping Hand, and it's got good coverage, so it's not bad. But Cerulege, Bitter Blade is better than Armor Cannon, I feel. Because it has like, 85 ace power? It has good stab move and Shadow Sneak. It has close combat. It has close combat, man. That enough is alone to make me think Cerulege is better. Oh, those alone. Toadscruel, the really weird Tentacruel. This is going to play pretty interestingly. I think Tentacruel might have its first VGC appearance besides the fake mono water thing that has a Seeking on it. This might be Tentacruel's first VGC appearance because Rage Powder, and it has Spore, so this can function like a pseudo Amoongus. And unlike Amoongus, it learns Trick Room. This thing has Foul Play, although it's not going to be as strong as Amoongus, and Taunt, and Reflect type. I'm not sure how Reflect type is going to function in VGC, but who knows. As for singles, Spikes, Toxic Spikes is going to be a very annoying. Rabbit Spin, Leech Seed. This thing's a very good utility Pokemon with knockoff. Spore is obviously the big one, though. We need to know that. King Gambit, I forgot what Koto Cleave does, but besides that, Sword Dance, your stat moves, and your attacking moves, pretty similar to Bisharp. It does get Zen Headbutt now, but like, actually, Bisharp could actually make use of that. Fighting types are its biggest nightmare, of course. So like, honestly, King Gambit could be worse than Bisharp because it's slower, and its defensive typing is pretty crappy. But who knows? King Gambit could end up OU. Clodsire is probably just going to be really fat support guy. Which I don't mind. It's what Quagsire's pretty much been. Just stall. This thing still has Toxic. That's important. So many Pokemon lost Toxic. Now, finally, Annihilate. If Rage Fist is a ghost move, it's going to be pretty good. If it's not, though... Ooh... It's not, if Rage Fist isn't a ghost move, it doesn't have a lot of ghost coverage. If Rage Fist is a ghost move, though, it has the Ghost Snap, it has Fighting Snap, and that... The Ghost and Fighting is a very strong offensive combination. With those, plus U-Turn, and whatever you want to run. Maybe Gunk Shot for Fairies. Rock Stone Edge for Flying types. Who knows what you want. I think Annihilate has a lot of potential. Final Gambit for whatever reason. Just do it. So these are all of the personally notable moves and my thoughts on these for all of the new Pokemon in Gen 9. Hope you guys all enjoyed this video, guys. Leave a like, everybody. Subscribe. Took me a long time to make this notepad. Have a great day, everybody. Peace. Let me show my face.